What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pesky Report, episode 480, presented by Beyond the Monster. I'm Jordan Leandri. I'm by myself tonight, or at least thus far, to start this episode. It is 11 p.m. Game 2 of this Yankees-Red Sox series just wrapped up. Brian hopefully will be joining soon. Jack maybe as well at some point during this episode. We're going to keep it brief. Regardless, just the first two games have happened in this series thus far, between the Red Sox and the Yankees. Another year where these two teams don't face off until June, which I think is kind of malpractice on MLB's part. Like, I mean, we had rivalry weekend a couple of weeks ago, and it was Red Sox Braves, which I guess if you want to make the Boston Braves connection, like, you can kind of sell me on that being something of a rivalry. But I would wager to guess if you're going to have a rivalry weekend, you'd want it to be Red Sox Yankees be part of it. But it is what it is. Game one absolutely sucked from a Red Sox side of things, and I shouldn't say across the board. I mean, it's kind of a microcosm of how the season has gone. The first inning was an absolute train wreck. The second inning was not much better. From Walker Buehler in his first outing. Ooh, Brian is here. I will add him to this real quick. One sec. Hey, Brian, how's it going?
Good. I bet about 30 seconds ago, everybody went to sleep. So
beautiful. So yeah, I just you didn't miss much. I introed, talked about how this is the first series between these two teams, and we're in June. This is the second year in a row that's happened. I think that's kind of ridiculous. It's Red Sox Yankees. Why is it taking so long for these two teams to face each other?
right.
Just weird. It feels like every year, like at minimum, at worst, you get like a late April series between these two teams, and here we are, June 7th. Well, June 6th was when the series started.
Right.
But yeah, no, I was just about to tear into Walker Buehler, so you
He
got here.
tore up to himself a little bit,
He did, and I very much appreciate his level of candidness. Is that the way you would say that? After that outing, not very inspiring performance for him. Seven runs allowed over 2 innings, 5 earned, raised his season ERA to 5.18. It's so tough to talk about Buehler's season because he had like a 6-start stretch where his ERA was in the mid twos. Then he got hurt, and then he's been bad. Well, he got ejected his first start back, and he's been bad his last 2 times out. What's your take on Buehler so far? And then, I mean, kind of no way to make a positive spin out of his start in game 1 of the series.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely trying to hold himself accountable. I think he had that good stretch where when Tanner wasn't Tanner, we're like, oh shit, what are we gonna do? And Walker was, doing really well. We're like, oh, okay, at least we have Walker Buehler, so we'll be all right. And then he got hurt, and then we're like, ah, shit. And then I think you're right. Since he's come back, it's been kind of not that guy that was having that 2 ERA. But so I don't know if it was like smoke and mirrors, and kind of like people figuring out there's a new book about him or whatnot, as far as like, what he's trying to do, how he's trying to get hitters out. People are figuring it out. And I mean, I hate giving the Yankees credit, but they are in first place. So they are doing some things a lot better than probably every other team, Major League Baseball, except maybe a few teams. So they're going to hit the average pitching that the Red Sox, a guy will have a great start. And it's like, he has a great start, but is it a shit team? Is he actually pitching good? And I think in that game, you kind of saw that he didn't really have it. And the Yankees, especially a team like the Yankees, is going to capitalize on, a pitcher when they don't have their best stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And during that stretch of good Walker Buehler performances, we got Toronto, Tampa Bay, Chicago, Cleveland, the Mets for 2 1/3, then Baltimore for 5. So it's like that stretch of starts. It's not like he was facing the Yankees or the Braves. The Braves have a good lineup. They killed him his last time out. I mean, he's allowed 5 home runs in his last 3 starts combined.
Yeah.
Just the he only got. I'm trying to do some quick math here on bad balls in play. Looks like he had a 500 batting average on balls in play and 2 home runs allowed in his start in game 1, but only, I think, 1 ground ball against him, 2 ground balls against him.
Right.
That's not gonna get it done. He had 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, but give up a home runs in the first to Jazz Chisholm, home run in the second to Anthony Volpe. And, I'll give him his props that he wasn't afraid to be like, "Well, how did he word it exactly? Like, this organization put a lot of faith in me, and I've been pretty fucking embarrassing for us. Thanks. We agree." Um, but yeah, uh, he got smoked, and Brandon Bernardino had to pitch for the 100th time since mid-May, which is an
Poor
MLB
guy.
record.
Yeah.
He's probably the number one supporter of Chris Murphy getting brought back. He's like, "I need a break." My guy. He's pitched so much, and, like, it's gotten to the point where if he goes out there and he has, like, an outing where he gives up 4 earned in an inning, I'm like, "Whatever."
Right.
He's he's earned, like, 3 meltdowns in a row for me. He's pitched so much. Um, but not all bad in game 1 for the Sox. We got Marcelo Mayer hitting his first big league home run. That was
Mhm.
he stroked that thing. Pause. Um, yeah, second Red Sox shortstop of the last decade plus to hit his first major league home run to the power alley of Yankee Stadium. Your your thoughts on Meyer thus far, and obviously the swinging game 1 of the series.
Yeah, you can definitely tell how bad Triple-A pitching is because these guys are mashing in Triple-A and then they come up to the major leagues. And I know that Mike Trout did it. I know all these other guys have done it, but I really think since COVID or even before COVID, when was a minor league baseball had the class action lawsuit. Basically, we want to make minimum wage, and Major League
Mhm.
Baseball's argument was, okay, that's fine. We're going to get rid of half the teams in minor league baseball. So you're like a bonus baby. They got rid of like all these rookie leagues, all these weird leagues. So double A's your talent, and then triple A. It used to be there'd be a couple like journeymen, and now it's just like crap. It's complete junk. And like you got guys that are like dominating in triple A, and then you're like, what is this guy's problem? Usually it'd be a little bit of a drop off. But Meyer came up, and I think defensively he's ready. I think he knows the strike zone, but he's a rookie, so he's going to get squeezed. And a lot of these guys have egos. He doesn't, thank God. And they bitch to the umpires. So then all of a sudden it's 0-2 every count, no matter what at that point. But no, first home run is great, and I think at Yankee Stadium that must have felt really nice too. And I was kind of surprised not to get ahead of myself that he didn't play in this game a little more. I know whatever, but you really got to get him in the lineup, going forward, especially as long as Bregman's going to be out. I'm tired of seeing, David Hamilton and some of these other guys, play over Meyer. You just got to let it roll.
Yeah, the Band-Aid's gotta come off at some point. I mean, again, he's only been counting game 2 where he pinch hit. He's only played 11 games at the big league level, 38 plate appearances. Um, and, some mixed results, but it's still I mean, he's kind of in, like, his April of, his major league experience. It's like, yeah, he goes out and goes 3 for 4 in his next game, and his numbers look ridiculous.
Mhm.
And it's like, well, where was this guy all season? Um so far through 38 plate appearances, 229, 289, 371's the slash. He's got 2 doubles, a home run. He's driven in a couple runs. He's made some really nice plays at third base. He looks like he belongs. And I think that's kind of the main takeaway I have for Meyer thus far.
Right.
Like, results aside, they're going to be a mixed bag. It's baseball. He doesn't look like he's phased. He just looks like he's out there playing ball, and
Yeah.
he'll have his 0 for 4s. He'll have his 1 for 5 with a bloop single. He'll have his I mean, he hasn't had one yet, but he'll have his 3 for 4 with a home run and
Mhm.
a web gem play at third or shortstop or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think the most impressive thing outside of just like his demeanor, he has barely played third professionally. He looks really good over there,
Yep.
really polished over there. So like Devers, your glove can still be on fire, bud. We don't have to get the extinguisher yet. That guy can pick it over there, which is nice.
Absolutely.
Nice to know if he can't stick it short, we know where to put him. The only downside is when Bregman comes back, then you're gonna have to throw him somewhere because I don't know what happens. I mean, we're weeks away.
Well, I mean,
Not
Story's washed up as we know. It's not like he did anything in Yankee Stadium, so we can. Oh, wait. Oh, he had a good game. We'll get into that.
maybe he's alive.
Yeah,
Maybe he's alive. There's a pulse after all
and
for
we
Trevor
have
Story.
Campbell at first base. Oh wait, he didn't play first base yet. Okay, no, that was just a okay. Yeah, I don't
That
know.
was
You're right.
in
I mean, all these things that like are gonna fix themselves, they're like and it just doesn't happen, or like something happens.
yeah.
Everybody wants an answer. It's not like okay, I need to know exactly what the roster is going to be if this team is like a game out of first place or a game out of the wild card going. I need to know the lineup, and you're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna know the lineup until like September. I think this is gonna constantly change every week, every month. You can't put your finger on it right now. So it's still way too early. People don't want to hear that. They're like, we're in June, but it's just like so many things could happen. Eventually, Anthony's going to come, right? And then
Mhm.
that shuffles the deck and pushes everybody all over the place.
Yeah. It's so it's so like it's such a peculiar situation for the Red Sox to be in right now with Roman Anthony because in on one hand, why is he in Triple-A? He's very clearly a league above
Mhm.
that level. Like
Mhm.
he's the best player in Triple-A, probably by far. He's
Oh yeah,
ridiculous, and he had a 497-foot grand slam tonight to kind
yeah,
of like that. Honestly, should be his last swing in Triple-A. Like I would have just taken him out of the game
yeah.
and brought him and called him up immediately from that. Like what? Like what does he need? What does he need to lock in on down there, Craig, for him to be big league
Do
ready?
you take? Do you believe any of the talk about its service time?
Maybe a little bit, but
Yeah,
I doubt it
because
because
if
I
they call
mean,
him up now, don't they lose like his whole like a whole year
I
or
think
something?
only if
Those
he wins Rookie of the Year. I
Well, I
think.
mean, I'm just saying. I mean, 500-foot bombs. I mean, I drink a lot of Red Sox Kool-Aid. As far as I'm concerned, he's probably going to hit 50 home runs as soon as he comes up, right?
Yeah, he'll
I
after 1
mean,
week after 1 week, he'll be batting 900 with 14 home runs. He'll actually pass Devers in home runs by the end of June.
probably, yeah. I mean, I
Uh,
think that's going to happen. No, but I don't know. But yeah, it's why isn't he? They're all ready to make a move, and then something happens.
yeah,
I've said this a million times. It was Abreu was the move, and then Abreu got his dad's strength and was just nasty. And then it was like, all right, we'll get rid of Duran. And Duran does something. Or, hey, we'll get rid of Rafaela. And then he has a couple, walk off 302-foot bombs down the right field, epic home runs. That probably wouldn't have been at a Yankee Stadium, right?
I don't think it would have been. I have to. I'm gonna check that
Yeah,
actually on Statcast where that would have been gone. There's no way that's gone at Yankee Stadium, right?
right.
That's like the rare walk off or the rare home run to right field that's not gone at Yankee Stadium. Like
Right.
you could hang your hat on that being gone at Yankee Stadium. No, not not this time.
Yeah.
Just
So, but
crazy.
yeah, but you get so much going on there. But yeah, eventually he'll be there, and we'll be asking ourselves, why the hell did we have this guy, that guy, or this other guy? Either the team's going to completely shit the bed, and they'll trade a bunch of these guys, and they'll make a spot for them, or they'll be in it and then they'll make a trade to get that missing piece, and then they'll have room for him. Either way, it's like you get a surplus outfielders and you're going to make a move. I mean, nobody
Yeah.
wants to get rid of Duran, but like other people want Duran because they see what Duran does. But people like me, the dinosaurs, know that Duran doesn't age well with the speed. It just eventually you lose it. Where these other guys, if you're mashing 30 home runs, it's like that kind of translates a little longer in your career. But they're gonna do something.
Yeah.
Maybe they shore up some of this pitching, but maybe Walker Buehler pulls his head out of his ass and pitches good. Maybe Giolito doesn't give up home runs. I don't know. Maybe Tanner isn't done for the year. Maybe they let Crochet pitch more than 100 pitches a game, like take off the kid gloves. I don't know. I mean,
Mhm.
there's a lot going on there. So
Yeah. Yeah, and to confirm, that is a unicorn home run. It is only gone at Fenway Park. Just,
yep,
double check that. Shortest walk-off home run in the
ever.
Statcast era,
Yep,
308 feet for Cedar Rafaela, and, I
yep,
mean, they talked about it on the weekday show. I mean, the title of the show is Mickey Mouse Walk-Off. It was very very much a Mickey Mouse walk-off.
yep.
Um, but yeah, like you said, with Roman Anthony, it's like yes, is he the best outfielder in the Red Sox organization? Maybe. He might be. I mean, but as we've seen with Campbell and to some degree with Meyer, it's not a guarantee that he's going to come up and be Roman Anthony. Like I think there's a very real possibility that he comes up and he struggles for a bit. And I think ceiling's obviously astronomical with Roman and all three of these guys. And the ceiling of the lineup is much better with Roman in it as well. But every single one of these outfielders brings with them a skill set that you feel if they're not in the lineup. Um, and yeah, I mean, I don't really know who the odd man out is. It was Abreu for a while, and then like Duran got, or when Abreu took off, it was clearly Sadon because he swings at everything. Well, he stopped doing that to a degree, and his walk rate's around 5%, which is still very low, but
It's high
double
for
what it
him,
was last year.
though. Yeah.
Double what it was last year. And then it was, well, he plays all world level defense in center field. Roman Anthony's probably a left fielder long term, and like you said, Duran, guys like him don't necessarily age well, and so he's the odd man out, and the
Right.
reports came out that, the Padres want him, and I think a team that makes so much sense for him, well, there's two teams that I think makes a ton of sense for him, and that's the Phillies and the Mariners. And I think there's some pitching, obviously, for both teams from both teams that Boston would be eyeballing if they were to make Durant available.
Yeah.
It's
You don't go completely MLB the show and be like Duran and a bunch of minor leaguers for Bryce Harper.
and hey, Bryce Harper's willing to play first base, unlike some people on the Red
Yeah.
Sox.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it'll figure itself out. I do kind of hate the fact that it hasn't, like, the decision hasn't been made yet. But again,
Right.
I'm not the person that has to simultaneously fire a guy to get Roman
Yeah.
Anthony on the major league roster. It's
Yeah.
so easy for me to be like, I don't like this guy, or I'm the
Mhm.
lowest on this guy,
Yeah.
so that's the guy I'd get rid
The
of.
issue is Jordan, and I mean, as you know, I know you listen to a lot of different podcasts, so do I, and we do this one because we're slightly maybe more than we want to admit emotionally involved with some of these guys. We're the wrong people to make this move. You need someone
Mhm.
to strictly look at analytics, performance, value, and make the move. And that might be the move that you don't want to make because it's the move that hurts the most because you're like, I really like this guy, but it's going to net you the most in return, set you up for long-term, success in the future. And that's really what you have to do. And you really need to take your heart out of it completely. Like there's like guys like you can't like see the guys in the locker room. You can't ask them how their day was. Don't talk to them about their families. It's strictly a business. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's kind of the best way to do it. I mean, that's not maybe traditionally, but like it's if the guys don't perform, you lose your job. I know we talked a whole hour about Alex Cora losing his job because he's not getting the guys motivated. You know,
Mm.
but if you don't get results, eventually people lose their jobs. Period. And if Breslow wants to stick around, then he's got to get results because it's like you can only give these guys. Okay, well, what was the excuse last year? He's learning, right?
Mhm.
Or oh, it's blah blah blah. And then it gets to a point though. It's like you got to win. We got to do something.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. I do think, like, I've seen so many, like, the Red Sox are counting game 2 of the series, 4 games under 500, 66 games into the season, so that's
Yep.
bad. Like, I don't
Oh
wanna
yeah.
pretend that's good. It's very
Nope.
bad, but, like, the level of, like, the degree to which the takes have gotten, like, where we're talking about if we had to pick between Breslow and Cora to fire, who are we picking? Um I again, I've made my stance well known in recent weeks about who I would pick in that scenario.
Right.
But, like, again, I mean, as the saying goes, managers get hired to get fired. They don't get hired and they don't, like, stick around. I mean, if Terry Francona is expendable in the eyes of Fenway Sports Group and the Boston Red Sox organization, I think Alex Cora very well should be viewed in
Oh
a
yeah.
similar light. Like, Terry Francona is arguably, if not definitively, the best manager in team history, and you fired him after
Mhm.
almost a decade, like 9
Right.
years, 7
Yeah.
years, 8 years. I can't do math. It's 11, 20. Uh, but, you know, and I still think, like, how many executives can you fire before you let one pick their own GM or pick
Right.
their own manager?
Is it the manager? Is it the players? Is it the ownership? Because I just looked at. I mean, they had the game was nationally broadcast tonight, and they had a stat: the recipe for fourth place. They have 17 one-run losses. second most in Major League Baseball. 14 blown saves, most in Major League Baseball. And I know save that could be, it doesn't have to be the ninth inning. It could be,
Mhm.
whatever. 23.7% strikeout percentage, fourth highest in Major League Baseball. And of course, my favorite stat, 57 errors, the most in Major League Baseball. So they didn't really make any changes from this year and last year defensively.
Mhm.
Um, as good as maybe on paper or the eye test we think their bullpen is, you get the most blown saves in baseball. That's your bullpen, technically, right?
Yeah.
And then the one-run losses, is that veteran leadership? Is that core is not, playing small ball and hitting and running, or we're not? I mean, we're stealing plenty of bases. We're getting guys in scoring position. I think a lot of those one-run losses, I look back, it was happened to coincide with a lot of those games where Devers was like, 0 for 7 with like, 5 strikeouts
Mhm.
because he was up in key situations in like eighth and ninth inning, and he was just whiffing and he was missing 93-mile-an-hour fastballs. Um, if the 17 one-run games, if they split half of those, I mean, this we have a different attitude right now, you
Yeah.
know.
What
So
they're 6 and 17. If they were even 11 and 12,
right,
we're
you're like, all
we're
right,
talking about a team that they're 31 and they'd be 36 and 30.
yeah,
Like how like that's just 5 games. Like I'm not even talking about flipping the record entirely. Like just be about 500 in one run games and
right,
they're a playoff team.
right,
And I do think like you look at this team overall and offensively, like they flash the graphic of where they're at, runs scored, home runs, extra base hits, average, whatever. They're like top 5 in all of these categories.
mhm,
They didn't show anything with runners in scoring position. I think they're 18th in batting average, or at least entering play tonight. They were
right,
18th in batting average with runners in scoring position. Um, it's just there's always something that prevents them from winning, and that's why I think it's a culture thing. Like you brought in Bregman and Walker Buehler; those guys are proven winners at the major league level. They have all-star pedigree, and I know Bregman's been hurt and Buehler was hurt, but um, they you brought them in to change the culture, and it wasn't really doing anything. They were a 500 team when Bregman got hurt, and so I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Again, they're 66 games into the year, and but like when the team is so addicted to losing and just finding a way to lose, whether like it's starting pitching sucks in a game and they just have no chance at all. Like similar to game one, like Bueller was so bad that yes, you scored 6 runs, you kept it, you brought it close enough to just to sucker us back into thinking, hey, maybe, and then you lose, but you never really had a chance in that game to begin with. You were down 7-0 against a good team in the New York Yankees. Or your pitching is great. We've seen this several times with Garrett Crochet pitching, which is ironic considering how game 2 went, and we'll get into that. Pitching's great, but you don't score. Or starting pitching's great, hitting's great, bullpen completely gives it away. Or both of those things suck. Or you're in that like 1-0, 2-1 game, and then again the bullpen gives it away. Like it's just always something. You don't get that timely hit. You get that 2 strike call that doesn't go your way, and then a blooper brings in a run, or you you leave Giolito in for too long, he gives up 2 bombs in a row, and then Whitlock tips pitches, and boom, it's a tie game in Toronto. Like
right.
stuff like that seems to keep happening, and it's happened for years now. And we don't have to keep beating a dead horse with this culture thing. And again, they won't make they're like Cora won't get fired mid-year. That's just not going to happen. They respect him way too much, and I think that's earned to a degree. Whether I like I whether I think whether I care or not, whether I would fire him mid-season or not is kind of
Right.
irrelevant. I don't make that call. But yeah, they won't do it mid-season. So I guess yelling fire Cora at the TV or tweeting it every day is not going to do anything. Um, but you know, Sox lose game one 9-6. But game 2 was cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed game 2. It's weird. Crochet gives up 5 earned over 6 innings. I thought he was awesome
Oh yeah.
tonight. Like, I thought he was great. I thought he pitched so well. And he gave up 5 earned. That's so tragic. But I mean, it speaks to how good he is, where like even when he's bad, like, you're like, wow, he was really good tonight.
He kept him in it. He got the strikeouts when he needed them. He gave up that one home run, the 3 run that was to make it 3-1. And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, the only park that's out of is like Williamsport Little League. and like like I was trying to think of like maybe some softball field in Lowell or something, like some tiny little dinky little softball field. But both teams get to play at Yankee Stadium, so the home runs that we hit, and then the home runs that they hit, it works both ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like really a 343 foot home run. I could down the line. I know we were talking about that pesky home run earlier, but who was it? Was it Ruff Snyder? Was in right field? Or I forget who it was. He kind of runs up to the wall and he's like, "Really? Okay, like that's a home run."
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah, but he was really good. I mean, he gave up the 2 runs again in the 4th inning, I wanna say it was. Yeah, the 4th inning, and then he buttoned it up for the last 2 innings he was out there.
Mhm.
Um, where in that inning, I don't know what happened with Christian Campbell on that ground ball. It was like maybe it struck the mound and it, like, kinda changed directions on him because he, like, started right, but the ball was, like, so like, extreme left of his body, and it was a tailor-made double play ball, or maybe you at least get a glove on it and you can get 1 out of it, but instead it ended up being 1st and 3rd with 1 out. Then Wells plugged the gap to make it 5-4 or 8-4, and then, RBI ground out. It got kinda dicey, but, um, you know, it Garrett Crochet he's just that dude, and it's a shame that he's pitching in the American League at the same time as Tarek Skubal because that dude is just a freak. Um, so Crochet will probably, unfortunately, not take home Cy Young this year because Skubal's just leaps and bounds above everybody in the league except for Paul Skeens, where he's just leaps above, above Paul Skeens. Um, but that's what an ace does, and they finally were able to score for him on a night where he actually needed them to score for him. So
Right.
good for it's a good win.
Oh
Got
yeah.
dicey again with Justin Wilson in the 8th inning,
What the
but
fuck was going on there? I mean, god damn it! Like
I
where the hell was the strike zone? I'm like, okay, Slayton's on the DL, right? But
mhm.
Whitlock is healthy, right?
Yeah, he was warming up at one point in the 8th inning.
What the? I'm like, what are we waiting for? Are we waiting to like for them to tie the game up before you put Whitlock in? Like, I was like, why the hell is Wilson still in the game? But then it's really strange. So there was a guy. Um, who the hell was it? One of the guys got a hit, but he had like reverse splits. What's the Chase? Is it what's his name there? The lefty there. He's got He hits lefties better than righties. He's on the. Is the first baseman Bellinger or who's the guy?
Oh, Ben
What?
Rice?
No, 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 no. He was up before that. Hold on one second, because I was like, why is he? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Bellinger. It was
Oh,
Bellinger,
Cody
yeah.
Bellinger. Yeah, he was 3 for 2 in the game, and I'm like, why is he pitching to him? But then what's strange is Wilson, who is left-handed, then right-handers come up and he dominates them,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what? Like I'm thinking like, Cora, why? And then all of a sudden the right-handers come up and he gets out of it,
Mhm.
which is I thought for sure the right-hander was going to dump the ball into like right field for a home run. And either they know something or the way like this is like Jack's not here, but Jack was really good at like pitch type and location, like in matchups. But I'm thinking we're gonna blow this game. I mean, there was one point where I think he threw 12 pitches and only 2 were strikes. And I'm like, it's fucking
13.
over. Yeah, it's fucking over. Yeah.
Yeah, it got ugly, for Wilson. He almost tight-roped his way out of it. I could not believe that he got to 2 outs without allowing a run. I would have I would have gotten the in cartoons where there's somebody on the stage and they take the cane and they're like, "Get him off the stage," and they just rip him. I would have done that. I would not have let him face DJ LeMahieu. I mean, it's DJ LeMahieu in the year of our Lord 2025. Like, I'm not too keen on making pitching decisions with DJ LeMahieu in mind, and I get Austin Wells was on deck. But if you're keeping Justin Wilson in the game because Austin Wells is on deck and you have the base open, again, it's DJ LeMahieu in 2025. But why are you pitching to him? Like, that guy's not going to strike out. He's going to put the ball in play. You have a terrible defense. Um, and Wilson couldn't find it. So it's like I almost popped a fire Cora, but Wilson ended up getting out of the inning, which was hysterical because then he gives up the 2 runs on the DJ LeMahieu single. Sadon thinks he's a hero and chucks the ball 9 feet up the line, gives up the extra base, and then then Wilson stays in the game to face Austin Wells, and I was like, oh my God, they're just gonna. I thought Wells was gonna homer again. I really did. I seriously thought that
Yep.
that was gonna be. It was just. I was at the game last year in September where Cam Boozer gave up the grand slam to Judge. I thought we were gonna get like that 2.0, not a grand slam, but I really thought Austin Wells was gonna hit a bomb to give the Yankees the lead, and I was going to like head and hands ready. I was my face was getting red. I was ready to start screaming tonight, but Wilson got out of it. Sox were able to put up some insurance runs in the ninth inning, and Chapman almost buckles his knee into oblivion. But 1, 2, 3 inning, another quick one for him, and he should be available tomorrow. Should the Red Sox need him again?
Right.
He's been so
Yeah.
good.
I like that, but when it was 8-4, 8-3, but then all of a sudden 8-7. I'm like, come on, like I want to have a really good night. Um, you know we we have a lot of stuff going on. I do. Jack had some scheduling issues, so to get this podcast done, it was like I want to do a podcast after they win a game. It seems like it's
I
been a
know.
while.
I know. I swear, like even the weekday show series the Red Sox lose, they get to record after they win a game.
Yeah,
We'll get like if we get a 4-game series, we get a 4-game series that doesn't end with Sunday Night Baseball. We are going to record after the game they lose. They could go 3-0.
yeah.
We know they're losing Sunday. Like
Hmm.
it's like the antithesis of last year. Like at least last year, the Sunday Sox were like they had the Lord on their side. They
Oh
won
yeah,
like all the time on Sunday.
we had
So
a good run. Yeah,
we got to at least be like, okay, they lost the series, but they
right.
won tonight. So we can ride that momentum. And then it was like, and the fashion in which they would lose these games was like, oh my God. So yeah, to hold on to win, it's great for pesky report morale for sure.
Hmm.
Like,
Absolutely.
please, thank you, Lord. Um, but yeah, Chapman comes in again throwing easy 101. Walks per nine this year for him is just 3.1. The only two seasons in which his walks per nine has been as low as it is now. Well, I guess three times, but one of them was 13 outings in 2020. So the two full seasons. We have 2016 where he won a ring with the Cubs, and 2012 when he broke out as a closer for the Reds. It was 2.9 that year, 2.8 with the Cubs that year, and this year it's 3.1. He's been awesome. Lowered his season ERA rate at 1.73. Remember in spring training when they were like Chapman's getting the first crack at closer, and we were like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, where would I mean? Again, they're 5 or 4 games under 500, but where would they be without this dude?
He's got 10 saves, and they've got the most blown saves in Major League Baseball. So if you don't have him, you probably maybe save half of those games. Now you've got 21 blown saves,
Yeah,
and this podcast is a lot harder to do. But
yeah.
early, Jordan, what do you think? You got to pick all stars for this team right now. Chapman is probably in the running for a slot the way he's pitching.
Yeah, every team gets one, and I think Rafi's gonna get
Yep.
get the nod
Hmm.
if they only get one, but they
Yeah.
should have two, or they should have three. Like Crochet will be there.
I think Crochet
Um,
will get it regardless of. I mean, he's going to be good enough. He's not as good as he's capable of being, but then
mhm.
he's going to get it just because of who he is, and people want to see the matchup. I think Devers will
He'll
get it, and
and then I
then
think Chapman's third. I
Chapman's
think
get a
that's it.
chance. And you know what? Like I get people with the personal life and there's an issues and blah blah blah. He's doing his job, and if he does his job again, you bring one more year till you get somebody else. I
Mhm.
mean, also at his age, I mean, you figure at some point he's going to run out of gas. It just hasn't happened yet. I mean, I still think it's amazing a guy that old can throw that hard. The only guy I think that was close to that is was it Benitez was like almost 40 for the Mets, and he was throwing like almost 100 or something. There was another guy who was throwing almost 100. And then there was the guy there for the Tigers, Zamaya. I mean, he wasn't as good, but he could throw hard.
Yeah.
But you got to know where it's going. And when Chapman doesn't know where it's going, he's left off a playoff roster. But right now, we don't have that problem.
Yeah, when he's locating, he is about as close to unhittable as any reliever has been in the history of Major League Baseball. And the data backs it up. I mean, this year opponents entering play tonight We're hitting 167 against him. Again, as far as full seasons are concerned, well, I'll just give you his. I mean, opponents for Chapman's career entering play tonight, we're hitting 166 against him. You cannot hit him when he's in the zone. Problem is, he walks the ballpark. His career walks per nine is 4.6. So, but when he's in the zone, it's wraps. Like you don't hit him. It just doesn't happen, which is why he only has one blown save. And I mean, he's got
Right.
2 losses, which I think is super not his fault. I mean, you got that gave up 2 walk-offs, one in Milwaukee, I think, and then
Whatever.
one in Chicago. No, yeah. He gave up the walk-off to Brooks Baldwin in Chicago. I won't forget that because Brooks Baldwin looks like he's 5. But, he's been great. And
Yeah.
again, like everyone wanted Tanner Scott, hand up. I also wanted Tanner Scott way more than Chapman. Baggage aside, player wise, I just wanted Tanner Scott. Chapman has been way better.
Yep.
So, from a
Another
baseball
guy.
standpoint, you
Yep.
nailed that one, Craig.
Another guy who I don't think gets enough credit, and I really don't know where they would be without him right now, is Weiser.
Oh,
I mean, he's come in and he's just, I mean, especially in this game, he was like just balls out, like, here's my stuff, here's my fastball. I'm going to throw it as hard as I can, and good luck if you can try and hit it. And then on the telecast on the radio broadcast, they basically said he moved to the first base side of the rubber from the third base side, and they said it's been like night and day, night and day.
yeah.
His whip is like just over 1 maybe. ERA is under 3. He's only got 7 walks all year, I think. You don't have him. There's no bridge anymore, and you're losing a lot of these games.
It's funny because it's like the Red Sox as a team, like again, this goes back to my point of it's always something that prevents them from winning. Individually, so many guys on this roster are having really good years.
Yeah, it doesn't add up. You're right. It doesn't add up.
Like how many teams have 5 good relievers yet are 4 games under 500? Like the Red Sox have Chapman, Weissert, Slayton's hurt, but Slayton's good. Whitlock's good. Bernardino's good. Like that's 5 really good relievers. You're 4 under 500, and your
Yeah.
bullpen's like middle of the pack. I mean, I get you got some Sean Newcomb outings in there and Cooper Criswell outings in there,
It
but
come back to starting pitching, Jordan. I
Mhm.
don't think the starting pitching is just complete garbage. Crochet, even when he's like the man, gives up 5 runs, and we're happy about it. He
Yeah.
was the guy that was going to pitch 7 innings and give up no runs, But it's 2025. Nobody pitches 9 innings anymore. Nobody does a Maddox anymore. You don't see guys strike out 16 guys. It just does not happen. So the bar is a lot lower than it should be. But I mean, the huge drop off Tanner had, and then Bayo's being Bayo. Buehler has him in the same sense as injury. There's a lot of crap there. And I mean, I don't know. I was looking on the social media about people talking about how, if you want the worst pitcher in Major League Baseball, Breslow will find him for you, whether it's Giolito or Buehler or whoever. But I don't know. I think that you're right. I mean, shit teams don't have a bullpen like that. They don't have a guy like Devers. They don't have the best prospect in minor league baseball about to come up. Like it
Mhm.
just doesn't add up. And it gets back to what you said before. Is it a chemistry issue? Is it a culture issue? Something needs to change. Somebody smarter than me knows the answer. I just am the schmuck who buys the tickets and watches the games and spends way too much. I'm doing a podcast at midnight, you know, um, talking about a sub 500 team. Like there's something wrong with me, but that's because I know that this team is better than they're playing.
Yeah. Crochet actually leads baseball in innings pitched right now.
Good, good.
88 innings across 14 starts with
What's that
him
average to?
him getting through 6. That's a little more than 6 innings per start, I think.
Which
Yeah,
is not a lot
88
though. That's not a lot
88
of innings.
divided by 14 is 6 and a third. Gets you out
Okay,
into
so
the
what?
6th inning every time on
So what's that?
average.
200 for the year, maybe.
Let's do some math here. 6.333 times 30, 33 starts if he makes the whole. It's 209 innings.
9. Okay, yeah. So I mean, 209 innings was like, what was the stat I saw yesterday? Was it Derek Lowe pitched over 200 innings like 10 times in his career, something insane? And you're like, he was a good pitcher. He was like a good closer, then he lost it. He was a good starter, then he lost it. Then he was in but like to throw 200 innings 10 times, like that's just you're not going to see that ever again
In
by anybody.
2015, There were 28 pitchers that pitched 200 innings or more.
Wow.
That was just 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And Mark Burley was number 29 at 198 and two-thirds. So like he was right there. You had Tyson Ross had 196. You had to go to number 37, Alex Wood, to get under 190.
How many guys did it last year? Was it like Webb and like it was basically the Seattle guys, right? And like one other guy? School
In
no, not School wouldn't even do.
2024, it was Logan Gilbert, Seth
Yep.
Lugo, Logan Webb, and Zach
Yeah.
Wheeler. And
Yeah.
Aaron Nola had 199 in the third.
Yeah. And those are the
That was
studs.
it. Mm-hmm. Tarek
Crazy.
Skubal won Cy Young at 192. George Kirby had 191. But there was only 9 pitchers that threw 190 innings last year. I
Wow.
mean, and Crochet, I mean, again, he's also got the most starts in the league at 14, but he's on pace for 209 innings
Okay,
this
well, good
year,
for him.
and he leads the league in innings pitched. But he's been a bulldog, and this is still with them kind of babying him a little bit
Right.
at times.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's been just what the doctor ordered, and
Absolutely. You
thank
you
God
do the
because Trace
you
Maydrop's been a god over there for Chicago.
well, they're and I think, what's his name just got called up to the White Sox, right? To be their catcher, Teal.
Yeah, Teal, and he got his first big league hit in his debut.
Yeah.
Maydrop's hitting 300 with a 386 on base percentage.
Do you now, I know we never give the Red Sox credit for doing anything right. Do you give them any credit for knowing that Wong was gonna be the backup and Navarez was gonna be a catcher, and let's make the deal for Teal? Because at the time, a lot of people were like, "Not Teal, because you need a catcher, and Wong sucks." I don't think anybody saw Navarez doing what he did.
No, I don't give them credit for. I mean, I give them credit for identifying Narvaez as because even if Narvaez was a backup, like the way he plays, he's a good player. Like
Yeah.
I'm cool. I love Narvaez. I think they just genuinely had a better player eval on Connor Wong. They just thought he was better than he was, and they thought he would be a better defender. And I mean, he still doesn't have an extra base hit. It is June 7th.
Wow.
So, I mean, Blake Sable, as bad as he was, has an extra base hit this year. Connor Wong does not. He's
D
at
does the arm bother you, though, with Navarez at all, or are you like, "We'll just deal with it because everything else is plus"?
yeah, everything else is plus.
Yeah.
If he's not Kyle Higashioka back there with his arm or Kevin Plawecki, I can live with it. I mean, he's hitting, good at bats. He's
Yeah.
driving the ball to the ballpark at times, driving in runs when he needs to, playing
Yeah.
good defense, calling a good game.
Is it sustained success, though, or is it like Sandy Leone and then, September's gonna come around, he's gonna suck, and then he's gonna suck in Fort Myers, and he's gonna suck as a starter, and then we're fucked again? Or do you see this as far like something he can sustain, or what do you think?
I don't know. I mean, the last time the Red Sox were really good, they had like Plawecki played like 70 games in 2021. Vasquez played 90. I think that's the split you're looking for. You want somebody that's like definitely the number one,
Right, but,
but
I think the
your
split
backup's
now is
playing a
like
lot.
75%, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah, he's
Navarez is playing
playing.
a
He's
lot.
playing every single day, and that
Yeah,
this was what happened in 2023 with Connor Wong because it was supposed to be Reese McGuire, but Reese was so bad
yeah,
that Wong took over the job, and then Wong played every single day when Reese also got hurt. But then Wong started playing every single day, and then he burned out by summertime. So
yeah.
that's my concern right now with the catcher
I
position.
just think Alex Cora, he looks at catching is so important that he channels his inner Tom Thibodeau, when it comes to catching. He just burns these guys out and never puts on the bench, and you can't understand why. He's like, "I don't know why people don't like the way I, treat catchers."
Yeah, I do think the Red Sox need to find a second catcher. I mean, maybe it's still Wong. I don't want to pretend like Connor Wong is a lost cause. Maybe this is just a really, 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 really bad year. He still doesn't have an RBI either. Again, it's June 7th.
Yeah,
Defensively, Wong's actually been pretty good this year so far. Last year
yeah,
he was a train wreck.
right.
We'll see. We'll see what happens with Connor. They do need to eventually probably start giving him 2 or 3 games a week though. I don't want Narvaez to be burned out by July or August. And if maybe Wong is still the second catcher and you can kind of get closer to a 50-50 split again, maybe you get another catcher, which is why like when I was looking at teams for Jarren Duran, like if the Red Sox wanted to go that route, Seattle made a lot of sense because there's nobody on the planet taking Cal Raleigh's job.
Right.
Harry Ford is their number 5 prospect, and he's killing the ball in Triple-A.
Mhm.
There's your guy, Harry Ford. Or you can go Cleveland. I was another team I pegged as a Duran suitor. Cooper Ingles in Double-A. He's hitting the
Mhm.
ball like crazy down there. I don't know about his defense, but he's really hits down there. And then there's some vets this offseason, like JT Realmuto is a free agent. If you want to go the short route, the short term route on a vet and let Narvaez be the guy, I don't know. We'll see. But
What's the guy from Worcester there just left, right? Grandal.
yeah, because he
Peace out and
retired.
done, right? Yeah.
He decided to retire, which is funny because 3 weeks ago he was like, "I want to work with Jason Varitek so badly," and then I guess he was like, "Wait, Varitek might suck, so I'm gonna retire." I don't want to get corrupted on my way out the door. They still got Sable and Sebi Zavala down there, but
Right.
yikes. But what do you think of Trevor Story's game tonight?
You know, I I called him and I'm like, "Listen, I'm doing a podcast tonight, and we're gonna fucking trash you if you don't hit." He's like, "Okay, all right, I got you. Don't worry. I'll give yourself. I'll give a gasp to my career." And he did pretty well. And then he had the post game interview on ESPN, which is kind of nice, kind of like like a flashback from like 10 years ago. Like he's relevant. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like I think we talked about this like first or second podcast we did this year. The hit that he had, the game he had tonight, it was like when that guy on Little Big League has like the CNI single and everyone's going bonkers over it. It's like when you're going that bonkers over a hit like that, like it's time. Now, Myers on the team. I really think that once Bregman's healthy, that's the end of story. Just because I don't think that even though Campbell has been not doing Campbell type things at second base and he's been pretty, he's having a tough time, they're committed to Campbell at the major league level. They're not going to send him down. And I'm just like everyone else. I'm just still amazed. Story's still healthy. I don't know if he's got a voodoo doll or what he's doing, but like this is probably the longest he's been healthy for a while in major league, since he's been with the Red Sox. But he has had some injury, and I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be surprised if we don't see another hit. And then Bregman, because isn't Bregman saying like his recovery is going better than he thought it would or something, or there was some tweet
Yeah,
or
he already
something?
started his running progression, I think
Yeah,
yesterday. So
yeah. So,
you can get him
uh,
back sometime this month. Again, don't rush him, but if you can get him back sometime this month, that really changes the
oh yeah,
outlook.
absolutely. But you get him back, and then you're kind of like, do you want Story to play second base or do you want Campbell because you want Campbell's your future? And I think then you make the decision. And it must have been a dream because I swore that I woke up, I looked at my phone, and it wasn't a hoax tweet. It was like from the Athletic, Story's cleaning out his locker, like from somebody. And it wasn't real. It never happened. But I have this memory of like picking my phone up and looking at my phone and like you get the A with the little, like whatever, and you swipe down on the Android phones or whatever, and you get Story cleans out locker, Jen McCaffrey or whoever wrote the article. And then I went to look for it because I'm like, I gotta read the story. And it never happened. It never happened. So maybe I'm seeing the future now. I don't know. Maybe that is like a July tweet that's gonna come. I don't know. But eventually he's gonna he's gone. There's no way he's sticking around.
Yeah. I will give him a little bit of props. He's shown a pulse lately. He's 7 for his last 28, which I know is only a 250 average. But he looked like he had some signs of life in Atlanta. Then he went 1 for his next 13, but he was 3 for 5 tonight with 5 runs batted in. I mean, they don't win this game without him.
Right.
He was great. The quality of contact is improving dramatically in this recent stretch. He's striking out a ton. I mean, he's Trevor Story. It's just always going to be part of his game. Entering play tonight, he'd struck out in 48% of his at bats in his last 7 games. Did he strike out
Wow.
tonight? I actually don't remember if he struck out tonight. Let me double check that real quick. He did not strike out tonight. So he struck out 12 times in his last 8 games, which is a lot of times. That's what, 12 and 28 plate appearances. Let's do some math here. That is a strikeout rate of 42.9%. That is really bad. But quality of contact is very much improved for him. So I'll go, game by game on exit velo. The home run he hit was his only batted ball um, in game one in Atlanta. That was 109 miles an hour. Then he went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts in game two of that series, but his batted ball was 103 miles an hour. Then he went 2 for 4 in the series finale with a strikeout. Sorry, 2 for 3 in the series finale with a strikeout. Average exit velocity of 107.4 miles an hour. Then he went 0 for 4 with 2 Ks against the Angels, 93 miles an hour on quality of contact, 106, 102.6, 95 or 94.9 in game one of the series. And then tonight, his double against Yarborough, 106.4 miles an hour. His single off of Yuri De Los Santos was 103.5 miles an hour. And then his kill shot single in the ninth inning off Ian Hamilton was 103 miles an hour. So, again, quality of contact for Trevor Story is improving. He did also have a ground out that was 77 miles an hour, a fly out that was 64. So he's human. But like again, the strikeouts are always going to be there. When he's making contact, what's he doing? That's the big thing for me. Like I'm fully expecting him to have a strikeout rate of around 30 to 35% by the end of the season. It's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to bail on him. But they brought this up on the broadcast tonight, which I thought was pretty interesting. And a thought that's like occurred to me, but I'm like, you really only hear about this with pitchers that have been hurt a lot. Like he's not used to playing baseball every day. Like he just hasn't done it in a long time. Like again, this is his 62nd game of this season. The previous 2 years, he'd played 69 total. He's played 62 out of 66 games. That is a lot of baseball for a guy who doesn't play baseball. Maybe him fighting it is just as simple as like when a starter hasn't logged a lot of innings, they hit that little funk. Like Hauk last year, he got to like mid-July, had like a 5 or 6 start stretch where he was just atrocious. And for a starter, that's a month. That's an entire month's worth of starts. And then he was okay the last month of the year that he pitched. Like he wasn't good, like wasn't bad. He had like a 4.3 ERA or something down the stretch. But if Trevor Story has like that kind of season where he was great in April, dog shit in May because he's just not used to playing baseball. And then the next few months he's just okay. I will take it. And he's fifth on the team in runs batted in, which matters like to a degree. I mean, he's fifth on the team. He's driven in 31 runs now. He's giving you 7 homers. He's not giving you good defense, but he's posting, and that's like the big thing. And as a base runner, he's got 9 stolen bases in 9 attempts, which is an element of his game that you would miss if he was gone.
So,
I
so,
do
so
think
keep all that in mind, Jordan. Right? Some positives, some negatives. Right? Gun to your head right now. It's just WAR over .2. Don't cheat.
it's not. It's under. I'm on his Fangraphs page. I know it's not.
But like, you
But
know what I mean? Like, I mean, come on. You know, like, there's a lot. Like you said, some good things there, but like, best case scenario, what he hits 250 the rest of the year? Was that like,
yeah, but if he stabilizes at shortstop, like he's at -3 defensive runs saved and -3 outs above average right now. If he stayed there, which so for the rest of the year, he was just average at short, and like you said, he hits 250. Well, let's say he finishes the year with like a 670 OPS or so, which is a significant jump. It's at 599, I think, right now. But he gets you to like 18 to 20 home runs, drives in 70 runs, steals 20 bags, posts a WAR around 1. Like again, this is a bad year. I'll take it. He gives you 120 to 130 games.
yeah. But you want that from him, from Trevor Story, and you won't take it from Marcelo.
I would much rather get it from Marcelo,
So
but I
that's what I
do.
mean. And
But I
Bregman, once Bregman's healthy, that's where he's got to go because it's just they're not going to send him down again. I can't. I just don't see it happen. These guys are here now. This is your future,
Yeah, I just
and
don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to like rack my brain around how to set that up. Like how you can somehow I think that group loves Trevor. I think Cora loves him. I think Breslow loves him. I don't think
okay.
maybe not as a player, but like having him around is important. I don't think they'll ever get rid of, or maybe not ever get rid of him. I don't think they'll just get rid of him. Like worst case scenario goes to the bench, which is fine. I'd be cool with that too. Um, but like trying to make it work. I mean, like they're pretty defiant about not having Meyer play against lefty starters. Is
Well,
that
that's a
is
that's a core thing, though. I mean, any guy who's left-handed when they first come up to the major leagues core is like, "Well, you guys, you can't hit lefties," and I'm like,
yeah,
like they've probably faced lefties their whole life.
yeah,
They've probably been like the best player on every fucking team they've ever played on in history of planet Earth.
yeah,
I know you think like major league pitching is like the best it's ever been, like historically, but they can probably hit left-handed pitching. And you know how
probably
you learn to hit left-handed pitching? You fucking face left-handed pitching.
by
Okay?
facing
It's
left-handed
not it's
pitching.
not working in the cage or off the tee. No, like you get in, you grow a sack, and you get up and you try not to pull the ball. You hit the ball the other way at Fenway 310 feet, and you're waving to the crowd like David Ortiz. Like, like if you're a left-handed hitter at Fenway, you don't have to pull the ball ever, really, unless they throw you a breaking ball and you just get the bat head out. You can make a living and make millions of dollars by being late on every pitch you swing at.
Yeah, I'm. I mean, like Abraham Toro's been so good for this team. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know how long that's gonna last.
Same
But
thing
like
with
Dom,
Gonzalez too.
yeah. But like last year, I thought the same thing with Dom Smith, and he was like a legitimately good hitter for 3 months. Like I don't know, I don't know. Again, when Bregman comes back, is there a world where you could fit all three of the big three in the lineup and still have Story in it?
No,
I'm
no,
not saying that you. I'm not saying you have to make room for Story. I think he goes to the bench, and I think he'll play against lefties, and I think he will make some spot starts here and there. But like,
Story
is
just
that when the
doesn't fit.
Campbell to first base
Yeah,
thing happens?
yeah.
You know, you
All right. And I think eventually, if they are in it and they're smelling it and they're like that close to it, they'll make a move for one of these Kyle Schwarber types, just like a slugger who's just going to mash and play first base, and he might play, below average defense. But you need the bat, and maybe Toro, he's put up decent numbers.
yeah, he's been
What's he
good.
going to do for 80 games?
Yeah, I cannot believe like I'm looking at Abraham Toro's stats right now. Like he is hitting 325.
Hmm.
What?
Yeah. But
Stupid.
tonight, though, Jordan, he got up, I think, with the bases loaded, and he just dumped the ball into right field. No
Mhm.
ego. Just I'm going to move some runners up. And I mean, it's so refreshing to see a guy do that instead of swinging from his fucking heels, trying to put the ball in the fucking stands and swinging and missing on three pitches. You
Yeah,
know,
and
like
he's not striking out at all.
there's nothing wrong with putting the ball in play because the guy still has to field it, especially
Yeah.
with the bases loaded. Now I know like you could be Devers and run right to home plate and run into an out. You could do that, but like if you listen to your coaches, if you're conscious of what's going on. But Toro's like, all right, I'm just gonna, chip shot to right field, which you should be doing that at Yankee Stadium all the way with the caroms and the angles. And I mean, defensively, their outfield isn't great. Um, I'm Jordan. I got to get something off my just the Yankees line. The Yankees are in first place, okay,
Mhm.
but they're still the Yankees. I'm looking at that lineup without, you know, um, the player they don't want to talk about is playing for the Mets right now. And some of these guys are doing well, but it just they haven't won anything in so long. And I'm like, really? That's the best team? And it's even more disappointing as a Red Sox fan because I'm like, if you guys even had some type of chemistry, whatever you want to call it, or you shouldn't be this far out of first place already. It drives me nuts.
Yeah. It really does. It really does. It really does suck. Like the American League is so bad, and you're part of the reason it is.
Hmm. Hmm.
It really does suck. It felt like we were gonna get like the not maybe not like the where we were in like the mid 2000s where it was Sox Yankees all the time. Like
Hmm.
that was but I thought
Fucking should
these
be
were the
though.
top two. Yeah, I thought this is what the top two teams in the division were going to be. I thought it'd be Sox then or Yankees then Sox or Sox then Yankees. And we would be I mean
I've given up on
the
the Orioles. I've given up on the Orioles completely.
yeah, but they've actually been playing really well lately. Like the key to getting hot space the Red Sox because the Twins also ran into I think they won what 13 games in a row that started with 2 wins in Boston. So
Right.
this is like and the Orioles have caught fire. The Red Sox are closer to Baltimore. The closer in the wild card standings, they're closer to the White Sox than they are to the Yankees in the division standings,
Wow,
which
that's
is
gross.
bad. That's
Yeah.
really bad. But we'll again, we'll see. We're still 66 games in. With game 3 tomorrow. Well, I guess today at the time of posting, I'm going to post this before the game so it doesn't look like we just ignored a game, even though we preview it typically. Pitching matchup for game 3 is Hunter Dobbins, who said that if the Yankees were the only team to offer him a contract, he'd retire. That's a
Nice.
great way. That's a great way to endear yourself to Red Sox fans. Say
Yeah,
some shit like
him and
that.
Ken Griffey Jr.
And Vlad Jr.
and Vlad Jr. That's good
Love it.
company.
That is. That is. He is up there with a future Hall of Famer and one of the best players of all time. So that speaks well for Hunter Dobbins' career. And yeah, he's going up against Carlos Rodon, who's had a resurrection in 2025. He's been fantastic. Which, if Max Fried wasn't the ridiculous pitcher he has been this year, which thank God for the Red Sox, they get to avoid him this go around. He'd be the ace of that staff, and like not in like a the Yankees best pitcher's Carlos Rodon kind of way. Like he's been that good. Um, so what do you think? Do you think the Sox end up taking the series tomorrow, or do you think this one's going the Yankees way?
I think if it wasn't 8-7, it would have felt a lot better. If it was like 8-3 today, I'd be like, fuck it, yeah, we're back. This was the game. We just all right, we're ready to do it. 8-7 though, it's like, no, you gave the Yankees a breath. They opened the door a little bit. They're not scared of you. And then, with one run, I mean, I think the Yankees are like, we blew it. Like I believe the Yankees are like, we should have won that game, and we blew the game. They had
Yeah,
Wilson on the ropes, and they shouldn't have put him away, and they just fucking puked all over the shoes.
yeah. I don't know. I kind of want to be delusional.
Nothing wrong with that.
I think I'm going to be delusional because
Okay.
the Red Sox love to troll, and I think the biggest troll they could possibly do is roughing up Carlos Rodon tomorrow
Oh yeah,
and
I'm not scared of him at all.
winning and beating the brakes off the Yankees. And then who do they face after this? They
Uh,
go back to Fenway. I don't remember who they face though. Or are they back at Fenway? Yeah,
let's
they're
see.
at home for 3 with the Rays and
Yep.
then home for 3 against the Yankees.
Hmm.
So this is like, oh, we're back. We just took 2 of 3 from the Yankees, and then we lose 4 of our next 6 at
Yeah,
home
they'll get
against 2
swept.
division
They'll get
rivals.
swept by the Rays. You're right. Yeah, that will happen.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's honestly, I think you know what? Yeah, I'll be delusional, but I say that with the contingency that they are also going to lose 4 of the next 6
So
at
here's the
home.
thing, Jordan. They'll win tomorrow. They'll get swept when they go to when they play the Rays, Devil Rays. I'm gonna keep calling them Devil Rays. Fuck it. I don't care if they change the name. And then they're gonna win the games on the weekend though. So then we have something good to talk about. That's what's gonna happen.
Yes. Yes, let's roll it back into us getting to talk after wins. I like that. I'm glad we didn't wait till tomorrow to record because then there was a
The
chance that
weekday crew, it's going to be a rough season. I'm sorry, just not the Red Sox year, but it's going to be the weekend Sox. I think from now on, it's going to be the weekend Sox.
from now on the Red Sox will go 0-5 from Monday to Friday and then 2-0 on the weekends. So we
Yeah,
get so we get
that's right. That's right. All
the
we do is
it'll
win
be
weekend.
it'll be the like the 2012 Red Sox record wise, but like we're on cloud 9 because we get 2 wins, we get 2 freebies every
Mhm.
weekend, and the weekday show is gonna be like talking like they're the 2025 Colorado Rockies,
They're
who are
bad.
somehow worse than the 2024 Chicago White Sox. How? Anyway, it is after midnight.
It
I gotta
is.
be out of my house in 6 hours, so this is fun.
You had a game today.
No.
Okay, I was going to say because with the rain, I'm like, there's no way. No way you could have played baseball.
No, so my little brother is playing in the semifinals for I can't remember the league that they're in, but it's travel ball.
Oh, nice.
They are in the semis. Their first game's at 10 a.m. in Northborough, and I live on the Cape, so that's a nice little crisp 2-hour drive at 6:20 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then if they win, they play again at noon. So
So what do they play against, like the Frozen Ropes and Rough Riders and all those guys and the AAU teams?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember who they played to. I don't remember who they played tomorrow, but last weekend they took 2 against Manny Del Carmen's program.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
he's
So
legit.
that was fun. That was fun. And I've been on the coaching staff for a couple of weeks lately. So they're 4-1 when I'm coaching. Not the head coach, but they're 4-1 when I'm in the dugout. Just just saying.
He might have a future.
Just saying. Count your days, Alex Cora. I am coming for that ass. I'm gonna take your job. Just saying. I would have taken Justin Wilson out in the 8th inning. I would have done it.
Jordan, every time I go to a game, there's a picture of you on the wall that I walk by and I touch it. And I hope that they win, but it doesn't always happen.
No, it doesn't. But it would happen if we started going on weekends.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, I think I might have to make my return to Fenway this week. It's been a minute.
it'd be nice, you know.
They're
But
one
I
and
mean,
they're one and
I just think
five.
it's funny. I go to the games with my dad. I'm like, yeah, I do a podcast with that kid, that guy right there. He goes, that kid's like 5. I'm like, no, he's older now. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, age. He did age.
Yeah,
He did
it was a
age.
few years ago. He's like, oh, okay, all right, all right.
Do a podcast with this literal child here.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, all right. So yeah, that'll do it for this edition of the Pesky Report. Again, episode 480, presented by Beyond the Monster. I can't believe how close we're getting to episode 500. I wonder if we can weasel our way into getting a nice guest for number 500. That is not me teasing anything in particular. I have nothing in the pipeline. Just be cool if we could land somebody for episode 500. That'd be really nice. But yeah, for everybody at the Pesky Report, for Brian and Jack, until next time, peace out and go Sox.